Part 2我哋咧就根據我哋嘅 program 咧係講日本嘅。Okay, before I start, I would like to give you a bit of introduction. 點解我講起想講呢個題目咧咁樣？因為近嚟好多朋友咧就復常之後咧想去第度玩啦。咁有個學生咧同我講開話，佢可能暑假咧爹哋媽咪會帶佢去日本啦咁樣。我就諗起咧，我好耐都冇去日本啦。但係日本原來一路都係咁受歡迎嘅，係一個咁好嘅地方。所以今日個 topic 咧就講下點解日本係咁受歡迎。OK， 咁我就well, as I promise, I'll try to speak entirely in English, and hopefully I'm not speaking too fast. So let's see. Okay, maybe I do the reading first. I have written only a very short paragraph as an introduction to talk about Japan in general. So let's do it first, and then I will do some very casual talking about Japan. Japan is just popular as a vacation destination. So Japan is the country. It's just, I mean, it's simply, this is exactly popular, being taken as a destination for holiday. Well, the word vacation is somewhat different from the word holiday. Holiday is a period that you don't have to work, but vacation is about spending your holiday overseas, away from home to have fun. So that is vacation. In Chinese is 度假啦. So this is how I start this passage, only just one paragraph. It was a demonstration for my student. Japan is a unique country on earth. Although most Japanese do not speak English, they present themselves as friendly and courteous. Very few overseas tourists have problems communicating with the locals. It is not at all an issue of language barrier, but more of their will to be a good host. No wonder it is probably the most popular destination for vacation for just about anyone from any country. So this country, Japan, is so different from others. I mean, it is just the only country like that on earth. And even though most Japanese people, they cannot speak English, or their spoken English is actually not very good, quite poor, can be quite poor, especially the pronunciation. They present themselves, that means they show themselves, they behave in a way themselves as friendly, as nice people, very kind-hearted, and very courteous, very polite, and they respect people a lot. So this is the adjective, courteous. If I remember correctly, is an adjective of describing people to be very polite and show a lot of respect to others. Courteous. Don't say courteous, okay? Courteous. Polite and showing respect for other people. 大家記得訂閱啦，撳埋個鐘仔就即刻睇到新片，仲要分享同埋留言，話俾我聽你想睇乜嘢。你嘅訂閱同埋支持係我製作新片嘅動力。Very few overseas tourists, that means almost none, or very, very small number of people from overseas countries who visit Japan, they rarely have any difficulties talking to the local Japanese people. Okay, because you know why? Even though Japanese people may not speak proper English, they can use their hand gestures and facial expressions, so somehow there's never an issue, never a problem with that. But for we as Chinese, we do have an advantage. We can always use kanji, hanji. We can use Chinese characters to communicate as needed. It is not at all an issue. Well, the word here, issue, means problem or difficulty. Okay, it is not at all, it's never a problem regarding language barrier. That means the separation, barrier means separation because of language difficulties. Okay, but more of their will, but instead of language, is more about their determination, the Japanese are so keen to be a good host. That means to take care of visitors, either in shops, in restaurants. Most Japanese are very polite and they treat visitors very well with a lot of respect. No wonder this is why it is probably Japan, the country, is very likely, almost certain, the most popular. That means the place that is most welcomed by other people. The most popular destination loved by basically everybody coming to Japan for vacation. For just about anyone, almost anyone from anywhere on earth. Okay, so this is how I demonstrated writing a passage telling others why Japan is so popular as a tourist destination. So, and then I can go for the next part, which is here. For young people who are attending exams, for example, DSE exams or taking the IELTS exam, I think this is something you can take reference of. And I will do the writing with the following strategy. If you're given a topic, say, why is Japan such a popular tourist destination? And then I would strategize my thought. I will come up with some strategies, some tactics. Well, first of all, I will ask myself, or I may convince my audience, my readers, whether anyone would disagree. And then I tend to believe that very few people will disagree with that statement. And then we try to do it here. I need the help from Google. So if I speak English, hopefully that will come up correctly. I tend to believe that most overseas visitors would agree that Japan is a popular tourist destination. The reason is simple. Most people feel very comfortable when they are in Japan as a visitor. They are quite likely to be very well taken care of. Taken care of by the host. I mean, the restaurant owner or owners. In fact, there is a very special word, I suppose is a French word, referred to the owner of restaurants. I hope I can pronounce the word very correctly and Google can pick up this word. Don't laugh. The word is restaurateur. I'll come again. Restaurateur. Okay. Well, I need to vindicate my pronunciation. Do you know the meaning of this word, vindicate? That means to prove that I'm okay. I haven't done anything wrong. That is the vindication of my correct pronunciation. Let's see the following. 嗱，我要講中文啦。啱啱咧我就話咧，我有個字咧想講下嘅咧，係一個法文字咧，係講餐廳老闆嘅。咁呢個字咧好難讀，係讀 restaurateur。restaurateur。 咁Google 捉唔到啦，咁可能我讀得唔準啦，我睇一睇咯喎。呢個字咧係嚟自 restaurant 呢個字嘅。打得唔開，哎呀，打漏咗個 U 字啊。OK，restaurant，OK。
Restaurant。
嗱呢個字係我想講噶啦，留意 restaurateur 應該係讀 restaurateur。啲咁多啦，因為呢個位呢個聲咧可以讀可以唔讀嘅，咁佢選擇讀咗啲啲就讀唔晒，咁我會跳咗佢 rest， 然後 tra 呢個 tra 呢個位啊 restaurateur。如果美國人可能會捲嚟會重啲 restaurateur 咁上下啦。咁我攞另一本字典去示範啦，呢個咧係一本發音字典，應該會準確啲啩。OK， 嗱好多款讀法㗎。
Restaurateur。
多啲咁就 restaurateur。好咁啊，當我讀得唔準啦，睇下 Google 咧接唔接受，如果我讀翻 restaurateur。爭一啲咁多下，好希望。Here I am, restaurateur. Let's try that again. Restaurateur. So I give up. What I mean is, whenever we go in Japan as a visitor, especially when the locals recognize that you are from overseas, in general, they treat you pretty well, with quite a lot of courtesy. Many Westerners even consider the Japanese culture a bit too, their courtesy is a bit too excessive. That means it's too much. But I like their courtesy. Let's move on to talk about the general perception of Japan for vacation. The word perception here means the feeling from others, the regular, the normal, the standard feel towards Japan. As a place for vacation in the eyes of overseas visitors. A couple of issues, the following, are very common for we to determine whether a place is visitor friendly. The food is of paramount importance to most people. Japanese food is quite popular among Asian or even Westerners. We Chinese or we Hong Kongers are very accustomed to taking Japanese food for our lunch or casual dinner or family gathering. So we feel very much home in Japan. Going into a Japanese restaurant, we basically know how to order. We know the varieties almost as well as the locals. We Hong Kongers are famous for or infamous for being very picky with food. We are very demanding. We are nitpicking. I have to say this is not quite correct. I'll try that again. Maybe it is my pronunciation. We can be nitpicking. This is much better. Nitpicking is demanding, excessively demanding. See, nitpicker or nitpicking. Okay. Argues about small, unimportant details. Be very demanding. You pick the wrongdoing of others to the extent that is not acceptable. But I have to say in Chinese, 呢係塞拿，捉塞拿咁解，即係雞蛋裏挑骨頭咁解。I also have to emphasize that we tend to feel very safe, very satisfied with the cleanliness of Japanese restaurants and Japanese food. I mean, in general. Interestingly enough, just these couple of days, you and I, we must have heard the news that a Japanese man somehow did some very nasty things in a sushi bar. He leaked the soybean bottles, and he did whatever disgusting things with the utensils. And now he's in jail. He's being prosecuted and subject to a huge amount of fine. But in general, we feel safe eating in a Japanese restaurant. For me, I really enjoy having some noodles on the street. I mean, those noodle cart, in downtown Tokyo. But I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong. Very often in daytime, you cannot find those noodle cart. Very often, you may only find them late in the evening. But if you know the right place to go to, you can go to a very authentic, traditional Japanese noodle shop. And I suppose those noodles in those shops are the genuine Japanese cuisine we longed for. This word is cuisine. That means the food being cooked in a different way according to the sort of tradition. So Japanese cuisine, French cuisine, etc. Okay, we have to jump to the next topic. The people. The people is always a very important element regarding a place as a tourist destination. Japanese are courteous, very hospitable. This word is hospitality. Hospitable means taking care of visitors very well, attend to their needs. Oops, what's wrong with it? Taking care of visitors very well. Attending to their needs. Be very responsive. And of course, very courteous. In Hong Kong, we often see a lot of advertisements, especially in the last 10 or 20 years, promoting Hong Kong as a tourist destination. And one important message addressed to the general public is to remind us to be courteous and hospitable to visitors. So I need to show you this word. So it seems like the word these words are of the same root. Hospitality, 款待吓, and then hospitable or hospitable, 好客. Hospitable or hospitable.
Hospitable.
The local people were very kind and hospitable.
Hospitable, hospitable, they're both correct. The Sahara is one of the world's least hospitable region.
The Sahara is one of the world's least hospitable regions.
There's an American pronunciation. Least hospitable, that means that it's not suitable for human. Okay, so I like the Japanese courtesy very much. And then, this is also very important about the people's element. I mean, the smile on the face of people serving you, either the waiters from the restaurant or personnel in a hotel, or even the ticket conductor on a bus or a taxi driver. So Japanese people in general carry a smile on their face, and then they're well groomed. That means they care about their look, their hair, and then their grooming in general, their clothings, and their neatness. That means they're clean and tidy. I think this is very important when you compare to other places, other Southeast Asian countries. The Japanese people are pretty much top-notch in that respect. Top-notch means top class. And then lastly, or second lastly, social order. The society is in good order in general. People follow rules. Oops. People in general follow rules. They queue up in shops, when they queue up for buses or train, etc. And then you feel very much part of them, part of their culture. No matter how hurried they are, they will still follow the rules. And there's no elbowing to each other. There's no pushing around. So things are very much in good order. That is vital, at least to me. Lastly is the language. You probably can guess, I will emphasize that even Japanese may not speak very good English. They are very courteous in general. I remember I once visited Tokyo, and I was reading the map in a train station, and then I tried to find someone to explain to me how to get change in certain interchange stops. And then I spotted a mid-aged man who was in a suit with tie, and then I suppose he may be able to speak some English. And then I asked him, "Hi, sir, do you speak English?" You know what he said? "I don't speak English." But in fact, his spoken English is not bad at all. He was so scared, he actually bounced off for about 2 yards away from me. And he said, "Sorry, I don't speak English." So I didn't force him to do anything. I kept on reading the map until I sorted out my route to get changed. OK， 我哋今日咧都試過，即係第一次，我都未試過咧全程用英文，尤其用英文解釋嗰啲字咧，希望咧就唔係太難嘅。轉翻睇下有冇廣東話，應該聽得容易啲係咪？講多兩句啦，我哋轉到第三部分。